Hi, I'm Stephen Cronin from stephencronin.com. Today I'm going to show you how I painted this one from a photograph. I came pretty close to aborting on this one. I just couldn't get it to look right, but I've stuck with it. Sort of dried it, re-wet it all, and then had another go at it. I'm not fairly happy with it in the end. So, before I show you the colours, remember, plenty more videos over on my Patreon page. You'll see the link below in the description if you'd like to support me over there. Very much appreciated. So this is a photograph I took of the River Cole flowing through Stetchford a few years ago. So I thought I'd have a go at this one today. So before I start, let's have a quick look at the colours. So we've got ultramarine, cad yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. I'll be using the large Ron Ranson 8 brush. I'm using 15x11 Fabriano Watercolour Paper. So let's get started then with the just clear water, just giving the paper a light wetting all over, stop it going all crinkly. I'm going to just dip the tips back into the water just to bring all the air back together, and I'm giving it a bit of raw sienna, a bit of background colour, clean the brush, and I want a bit of ultramarine on there, not too much water, just to fill in that little sky area, somewhere up there like that. Just soak up any bits that are dripping down the paper. In that corner bit there. The water's around there, so just get that colour reflecting the sky while I can. And around here we've got some background trees, so while the paper's still wet, I'm going to mix those same two colours, raw sienna, ultramarine, and sort of somewhere up there, and I'm just trying to paint over. Great tip I once heard, I remember Ron Ransom once saying, only paint over the same piece of paper more than once unless if you've only got a specific reason for doing so. So basically just, if you can get it in one stroke, all the better. So I'm switching to a little brush, little bigger brush. Let's get a bit of water on there. Right, now I want some quite distant twigs and things growing up there, so these are coming slightly forward with these. So I'll get these in while the paper's still slightly damp. Just very faint little things growing in the background. And I'm going to switch to the bigger rigger brush. This is number 3. Same again, bit of brown, bit of blue. And straight away, I forgot the reflections and I just realised I've still got that colour on the brush. So oh, I didn't, I went into that brown. Oh, I can get it. Don't worry about it. Something down there. I'll come back to that in a bit. For now, that'll do for now. Let's switch back to the rigger brush. Bit of brown, bit of blue. And plenty of water. Sort of coming out there like this and just flicking off. Just pull this paper flat against the board. So that's stretched slightly. And I'm going to switch back to the rigger brush. More brown, more blue. Keep reloading the brush. A few more over on this side. Again, just popping down these reflections down below. And what I'll do, I'll use a bit of dry brushwork to put in a bit of foliage with things growing all around these twigs and branches and things. So let's switch to the paintbrush, squeeze the water out, thumb and forefinger, then I'm going to dry it on there. Let's take a bit of colour, let's get a bit of cad yellow on there. Something like that. Dotting these around. A few reflections down there as well. Starting off with the light colours and then move to the darker ones in a minute. Get these ones in first. There's some reflections. Right there, and a bit of ultramarine. See, I'm twisting the brush around as I do it, just always looking for sort of random effects. Now I'm adding a bit of Payne's grey, darken even more, bit of yellow, bit of grey, really dark green now. Twisting the brush around as I go. Right, let's get some of this, some more. Now just ahead of this we've got some distant bushes and things growing, so we'll take a bit of ultramarine, a bit of cad yellow. I'm just going to push this up. Staying quite light. Push this up there like that. It's just about where the river starts, just over there somewhere. Just gonna sweep round. So again, at this end. These leaves. We'll put in the light ones first. These are going down there like that. And these are coming down. Something like that. Get a bit of ultramarine in there. I'm going to get these flat against the board. Something like that. Right, let's get a bit of red in there, I think, just to get a bit of variation. Darky, shadowy bits. There's something like so. And then we're back to these areas. Yeah. Clean the brush. I'm going to go back to a lighter colour. Back into that yellow, just some lighter colours down there. Such a blue in there, just to vary it slightly, back into the yellow, back into the blue. what I might do is just switch to the rigger brush, bit of brown, bit of blue. There's a whole load of things growing around there. Just flicking up. A fingernail in there as well. More paint, more brown, more blue. Loads of stuff going down there. It's a bit of red. Bit of red, bit of blue as well. More things growing down there. Well, I think it's time. I just don't feel as if I'm getting any sort of atmosphere out of it, so what I'm going to do is give it a quick dry. Give it a good, I'm going to wet it all over. I'm going to imagine that's like my sort of first wash. I'm going to wet it all over. Right. And then I'm going to try and create some sort of atmosphere. A bit of blue, so to make that slightly more interesting. Right then. Would you believe it, the computer's just shut down. I've just lost my reference photo. The computer's doing updates. Right, I'm going to have to do it from memory. Right, so in the background, we've got things growing there. Doing on the background, a few clouds in the sky, trying to differentiate because I've done the sky just too close to that background colour, so I need to differentiate the somehow. A few branches and things growing. Just brown and blue. Right, put those trees in. Just want a clean brush, I want to dry that a little bit. Let's start off with this cab yellow. The ultramarine, Payne's grey and yellow. Clean that brush. sort of lighter sections now, as I'm trying to almost taking some of the paint off as well as I'm putting it on. Trying to get back to that white. I'm coming incredibly close to a abort, so I feel as if I've got nothing to lose at this stage. Those. So I'll get a few more branches in. Paint over anything I'm not too keen on. A few more nails. Down here, something just to. No, I don't like that at all. Let's go over that with some yellow. Just want to bury these trees a little bit there, it just looks so bland. Let's get some stones or something in there. Brown, a bit of blue. Try and vary that. And they're not in the actual photograph. Oh. Feel as if I'm just need to try different. I'm just experimenting really, to be honest with you. I'm taking paint off. Just trying to make those stones a little bit more subtle. Clean that brush again. Right, this foreground a little bit needs to be different, but I've done it too similar to that. I need to do it completely different. I'm doing red, brown. It's just really need to do something completely different. A bit of black, a bit of green. Maybe a blue on there. Let's get some bigger work in there as well. I'm just doing brown and blue. Bit more brown, a bit more blue. Right up there like that. This foreground section, it might go light again. Just into the yellow, push that up there, right up there. give that a quick dry. I think I just need darken some of that slightly. There's banks somewhere. Something else in there. Bit of brown, bit of yellow, bit of Payne's grey. Finger will work. Let's get that bigger brush out again. I'm just going brown and blue. I just want some of these just to be a little bit stronger. Brown, blue. Slightly stronger than what's already on there, just to provide a better contrast. I'm just constantly reloading the brush. A bit better up there as well. Let's find some dominant one somewhere around there. I don't like that. I'll try and put some little flowers on the top of these foreground long grasses. So I'm just squeezing the water out of this light brush. Scuff the ears up, something like that. Let's just go red. A little bit of blue. And mainly red. Something like that. Just darken this a little bit more. Just getting blue and Payne's grey. Just trying to get some like a 16 there. Yeah, one other thing I want to try. I don't like this. I think this sky needs to be lighter. I'm just again taking a damp brush. Just want to lighten this sky area. Just wet it and take it out with a tissue. Make it the same as this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there. I think so. I'm just gonna paint now. Just stick my name, just sign it, just get a bit of paint on the brush, just a bit of dark mix on the brush. Right, let's stick a mount on it and see what it looks like. So here's the eventual painting. Finally got there in the end. Came pretty close to aborting this one, but to be honest, I'm quite happy with it in the end. It does look pretty different from the reference photograph. I think the problem was the colours are just so dull. And so I think the original mistake I made these two banks the same, this one and this one, and it needed varying. The original sky, I've pretty much got rid of all of it. I just think it just merged too much with these. You can't see them much, but there's supposed to be some background trees behind these closer ones. So I just wanted the sky pretty light in colour, just for a bit of sort of contrast. Might have added just a few more little darks to these trees, but see where I've scraped a few twigs, as well as the rigger work in amongst it all, and then just use sort of light yellowy colour for this banks over this, and then just darkened where the water meets the land. Scraped in a few little rocks. The rocks aren't in the reference photo, but I just thought it needed some little details in there to try and make it more interesting. So after a while I realised I wanted this bank foreground one a different colour to this. So I've just painted it in generally dark, added a bit of light red to the brown. Could have done with a bit more variation. It still looks, although it's obviously different to that, the whole thing still looks a bit iffy. Maybe a few more lights and darks amongst it all for a bit of counter change. Plenty of rigger work here, these foreground reeds and grasses and things. Might just be able to pick out a bit of dry brushwork here, a few flowers on the end of them. So that's it for that one. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit of a sort of roller coaster ride, that one, but I'm fairly happy with it in the end, to be honest with you. So as always, thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Remember, plenty more videos over on my Patreon page. So any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.